Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. And today I'm going to be telling you guys the 5 things that you should purchase before you buy the Sony A7S III. But for now, let's cue the intro. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here in this channel, we do a lot of video and photography tutorials, tech reviews, and anything that's video or photography related. So if you're new here and you like the content, please consider subscribing. Make sure to stick around till the very end of this video, where we'll be giving you 5 tips with a bonus of 1 more tip on what to buy, what accessories to buy for the Sony A7S III. But now let's get started with the video. Alright guys, so after purchasing the Sony A7S III, I realized literally right after I unboxed it that there were certain accessories that you needed to even make this camera like usable. So I'm gonna tell you guys the 5 things that are a must, like that if you don't have them, you're not gonna be able to use this camera to its highest potential, and probably for the reasons that you bought it. So for starters, the first thing that you're gonna need in order, if you are one of the type of people that likes to shoot 4K 120 at 10-bit 422, you're going to need a Sony CF Express Card Type A. Now, if you are planning on shooting 60 frames or 120 frames per second, you most definitely need this type of CF Express card, simply because the traditional SanDisk cards, they're too slow in order to read what you're recording with your camera. You would need a UHS-2 V90 SD card in order to keep up with this camera. So, and these SD cards, these CF Express cards are not cheap. I was able to purchase this one from Hunt's Photo, an 80GB CF Express card Type A from Sony. Oh, and this one ran me $198. So this stuff is not cheap. This that I got the cheaper alternative, there's still a 160GB CF Express card that will run you $398. So just keep that in mind. If you're the type of person that likes a lot of cinematic footage, B-roll, shoot a lot of 120 and 60, you most definitely need to pick up the Sony CF Express card. Now, this isn't the only one that you can buy. There's also other alternatives. Okay, so I'm just that type of person that if Sony makes the product that I need for the camera that I have, I'm just gonna pick the Sony one. For me, it's more of like I'd rather just have everything Sony, so that if there's any little chance that my memory card can be corrupt or something like that, at least I won't know it's because I cheaped out on something. So take it from me, just get a Sony CF Express card. But if you want a cheaper alternative, get the Lexar SD card. Alright guys, so the next thing you're gonna have to pick up is a card reader, but a Type A CF Express card type reader, which unfortunately Sony is the only distributor out there that has it. So the one that Sony makes is the Sony MRW-G2, which is this guy right here. So this thing is actually, it's pretty useful. It is kind of expensive because this is gonna run you 118 bucks aside from the 198 that you spend on the CF Express card. But you can also, it reads CF Express cards Type A and your regular SD card, so it has like a multi-purpose. It's via USB-C and it comes with 2 cables in the box. It's something that the one I used to use was the traditional Apple one, which cost me I think like 60 bucks. So the fact that I had to get another one of these that cost $118 kind of pisses me off. But I guess that unfortunately only those type of cards can handle the 4K 120 of this camera. So yeah, not cheap, but you most definitely will need one. Alright, so now you must be thinking, what else can I need? I have the SD card and I have the SD card reader, so you're good, right? Nah bro, you will have to make sure that your computer can handle these file sizes. In the very beginning, I didn't know that you were able to create a shortcut by creating proxies and shooting in these proxies internal in the camera. But before that, if you don't do that and you don't have a fully spec'd out MacBook Pro or something, forget about it. When you're editing, if you have to let it render 100%, and then it'll still might be a little bit choppy and sluggy from time to time, even if you just do one small edit. So make sure that your computer can handle these massive file sizes. So let's just hope that your computer can handle it. I currently edit on a MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's not fully spec'd out, but it's not the worst, but it's not the best. It's right in the middle, so it handles them all right after you create proxies. But just keep in mind, after spending $3,500 on just the body itself, and then spending $198 on an CF Express card, and then 118 bucks on a card reader, you might still need to make a bigger purchase of $2 to $3 grand just so that you can edit these file sizes on your computer. So just make sure you have all that stuff ready to go, because you don't want to waste $5,000 just for you to use this camera. All right, so the next thing is not really a necessity, but it depends on what type of work you do. If you're, for example, a vlogger and all you want this camera is just for vlogging because it has the flip out screen, then that's all right. You know, you can pretty much get away with it. But if you're trying to use this for professional shoots, which most people I assume will, you most definitely have to purchase a camera monitor. So the camera monitor that I'm using right now is the Atomos Shinobi, and this is perfect because it's pretty much right under the Ninja 5, just that you can't record externally. But I don't need it to record externally, I just need it to make sure that my exposures and my colors are all accurate, specifically if you shoot outside. Don't think that you can go outside with the little flip out screen of the Sony camera and expect to get perfect colors. I tried it, like they improved it a lot, because before I got the A7S III, I was shooting on the A7R III. So they definitely improved the brightness and the quality of the screen, especially now that it's touchscreen. But just if you're gonna use this camera professionally and you're gonna do a lot of outdoor shooting, you most certainly have to get a camera monitor. It sucks that even after wasting this much money, you have to waste even more money with accessories like this. But Sony was never the best at LCD screens, and something that Canon is actually really good at. So it sucks, they still haven't fixed the problem. They improved it, but it's not fixed. So definitely purchase a external monitor. The Atomos Shinobi, which I don't recommend you go any cheaper than this, will run you $299, and that's not including any accessories. You still need to buy the cable, which is like another 12 bucks, and then you have to buy the stand, which is another 10 to 15 bucks. And then you also have to buy another battery, which I recommend you get at least 2. But if you only have the budget for one, it'll run you $39.99. So in total, you're looking at like 240 bucks aside from the 3,500 you spent. All right, guys. So since we're on the topic of batteries, another thing that you will most likely have to purchase, you don't really need it right when you buy this camera, but you definitely want to invest in it in the future, is an extra battery. Now, shooting 4K 60, 4K 120 at 10-bit 422, you're definitely gonna make, you're gonna make your battery work. So I recommend you buy at least one extra battery. Now, these are not cheap, believe it or not. These cost $78 each, which I think is a scam. But yeah, make sure you buy an extra battery just when you're out and about. You don't have to worry about battery life, especially if you're gonna use this camera outdoors, because if you increase the brightness of the screen, that little LCD screen of the camera, you're gonna run through your battery a lot quicker. So purchase at least 1 or 2 of these bad boys. Make sure you always have them fully charged, because shooting at 60 and 120 with this color depth and the high brightness of the LCD screen, you're gonna run through them fairly quickly. So don't cheap out, buy an extra pair of batteries, at least one extra one. I know it sucks, but like if you haven't noticed by now, this industry is expensive as hell. Alright guys, so after you buy the SD card reader, the CF Express card, the extra batteries, the monitor, then afterwards I most definitely recommend you buy a very good full frame lens. The last thing you want to do, and I hate when I see people do this, is that they buy a $3,500 camera body and then they put like a $500 lens. Like, dude, don't get me wrong, I did the same thing for the most part, but if you're going to be using this professionally, at least get a full frame lens. I personally use G Master lenses. Now, don't get me wrong, when I started, I bought a 18 to 135, which cost me like 400 bucks. Like, I get it, we don't all have the cash to like just spit out all the time, but just make sure you buy at least one good full frame lens. I recommend G Master, but you can buy a Sigma or a Tamron. Those are also great alternatives. We all know Sony glass is extremely expensive, but believe me, the worst thing you can do is buy this camera, buy all these accessories just to put a cheap lens. It's like throwing away all of your money. Alright guys, so after spending $3,500 on the camera body of the Sony A7S III, not including tag, make sure you have at least $750 to make sure you can buy the camera monitor, the extra batteries, the CF Express card, the CF Express card reader. And if you're one of those lucky ones that your computer can handle these large files, you know, you don't have to spend $2 or $3 grand on a computer. But if your computer can't handle it, you have two choices. You either return the camera and get maybe like an A7 III, or you know, cough up another $2 to $3 grand for a better computer. I mean, the decision is yours, but don't be expecting to like get the best out of this camera with like the stuff that you were using on a 4-year-old camera. Things are evolving, and if you want to get the best like quality and the reasons that you probably bought this camera for, you're gonna need to add a little bit more accessories. Unfortunately, they're not accessories that you can just pass by. You're definitely gonna need them even on day one, so just keep that in mind. If your budget is only $3,500, make sure you add another $7 to $1 grand pretty much. Alright guys, so that's pretty much today's video. I hope you guys found this video extremely helpful. I know I did, because when I was looking on YouTube for things to buy before I bought this, I couldn't find any videos. So I hope you guys don't have to go after the struggle that I did, that I had to go buy this, then I got home, then I had to go buy that, then I got home, then I realized I needed this. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and if you got a ton of value out of it. So just make sure to subscribe. We're really trying to get this subscriber count up, and let me know if you guys have any more questions, if you guys want to see more videos like this. And again, if you're new here and you enjoyed today's content, consider subscribing. So yeah guys, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.